All right, guys, John the Sports Dad here with the Grumpy Sports Dad Talk Show. My buddy Richie nominated me to make this video. So as you all know, I'm a Seahawks fan. Seahawks. And the Seahawks have an interesting decision to make this offseason. And that is, so one of the things that they did last year's offseason was they brought in a man by the name of Sean Desai, and he was the assistant head coach. He was kind of like a overseer of the defensive coordinator because they hired Clint Hurts as their brand new coordinator last year, whom he was our defensive line coach at first and then became our defensive coordinator. And so Desai is now leaving, and our defense was bad. It was bad. And so they have a couple options that they can take. And the option that I think that they're going to go is they're going to ditch the 3-4 scheme, which is kind of like a 5 guys in the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers, almost like what you'd think of like with a nickel, but with a bigger defender as opposed to in a typical 4-3 scheme, as opposed to a extra defensive back. And what I think that we're probably going to do is we're going to go back to a old school style 4-3. It'll still be a little bit of a 3-4, but what I think that they're going to kind of do is they're going to be running 5 DBs, but with Jamal Adams as kind of like a weak side linebacker. And so we'll still have we'll have 4 guys rushing the passer. We'll have Bobby and Devin Bush, and then Jordan Brooks when he's coming back in a rotation intermixed with Julian Love, Quandre Diggs, our corners, and then Jamal Adams as a weak side linebacker. And I personally am really excited for this, especially with the off-season signings. We're bringing back Big Jaron. We got that Jones guy, Draymond Jones, coming in. And one thing I want to talk about with Draymond Jones is last year, the number 1 PFF ranked player for completing/beating their assignment within the first 3 seconds was Javon Hargrave. Now, number 6 on that list was Draymond Jones. And I want you guys to understand that when you're reading pure stats, you are not getting a good example of how good this man really, really is. He was the 6th in the league in winning his assignment within the first 3 seconds. And the only reason that he did not have the sack total is because they played for the Broncos, and every team that he played against had a good offensive line, and their game plan playing against them, because they were a top 5 defense, was to get the ball out of their quarterback's hands so that their defensive line cannot be disruptive. So if everything comes to fruition the way that I envision it, we will be seeing Jamal Adams playing a lot of run-stopping weak side linebacker and a little bit of coverage, which is not his strong suit. And we'll be using him more as a linebacker than a safety. Julian Love will be, for the most part, our starting strong safety. Big Jaron and Draymond on the inside intermixed with, Miles Adams and probably Brandon Manet, whom I don't think he's going to be around for most of the year because he tore his ACL, and we're gonna have a whole brand new revamped squad, and so I'm really fucking excited. Pardon my language. I'm really excited, and especially with Big B-Wags coming back. That's my dog. That's my boy. Number 54, walking Hall of Famer. Let's go. And so, again, Richie nominated me. He wanted me to make a video on this, talking about what I think. And so, all right, guys, thanks for listening. Peace.